So today we are going to be focusing on some black and white photography, very proudly featuring my Mamiya C3 with a red 25A filter. I've really wanted to do some slow photography for a while, and I spent a week up in Colorado celebrating Thanksgiving and decided it would be the perfect opportunity to do so. I shot one roll of Cinestill XX and one roll of Ilford HP5. The 25A filter requires a compensation of 3 stops, so the 400 ISO film I shot at 400, 200, 150 ISO, and this you can apparently pick your own ISO for. So I started at 200, and that means I shot it at 25 and just metered for that, so that the photo studio did not have to push or pull it or anything. Also, while I was there, I still had another roll of that Ilfo color that I was not going to use otherwise, and I just picked up this little Canon point and shoot because I have a crippling marketplace addiction and figured it'd be the perfect time to test that out. So we will first concentrate on the black and white stuff, and then maybe at the end we can talk a little bit about the Canon Snappy LX2. I actually really like it. So thanks for joining me. Welcome to Colorado and the beautiful Silver Cascade Falls. This is just outside of Colorado Springs, about probably 20 minutes, and very much worth the drive. Actually, my whole photographic part of the week was spent in this general area. Here is the top of the trail. I found a nice little waterfall that I thought was pretty. And here is the view from the top of the trail. Ordinarily, there's a very long waterfall right here, but with it being the dead of winter, it was dry. So, after getting some photographs at the bottom and the top, I worked my way back down. It is rather steep, but it is manageable. Here's another little waterfall that feeds into the main one at the bottom, at least the main one in the winter. And then I got to head back to Colorado Springs after this in my favorite road, which is Gold Camp Road. It's mostly dirt, part of it's paved as well, and it's worth the drive. It's just so pretty. There's those beautiful old tunnels. But let's go ahead and take a look at the Ilford HP5. Since this one had the 400 ISO, I figured it was probably the best bet for such a gloomy day. Here's the first, sort of uninspired, these both, but the waterfall ones were very pretty. With it being so dark, I was still able to have decently long exposures. This was the little one at the top that I really liked, and these last two are at the bottom, both of which I'm a big fan of. And I guess we should just take a moment to talk about HP5 Plus. The biggest problem with that day was the light. It's no fault of the film. I think it performed really well given the conditions. Adjusting 3 stops, even though the filter kind of makes up for that, is a little bit to ask for some film, and from what I understand, black and white is a little bit more forgiving of that sort of thing. But even still, I mean, if I'm comparing this to Ilfo color, it's night and day. Ilford does a really good job with black and white. That's been their bread and butter forever, and I think it went really well. So with that said, let's go ahead and talk about day 2 of shooting and the Cinestill XX. This is the one I'm more excited about. So today is day 2 of my photographic expedition, messing with the 25A red filter. Today we're shooting with Cinestill XX, I think it's called. We are off of Gold Camp Road once more in the beautiful Colorado Springs adjacent mountains, and today we have a special guest. Tara, my big ol' white Great Pyrenees. Come on out. Come on, sweetie. Let's go. She's not interested in getting out of the car yet. Tara, come on. Let's go. Oh, fuck. Ugh. Good dog. Anyway, we'll see you on the trail. The first thing that I noticed hiking with Tara is that, like everything else, she is an incredibly unhurried hiker. She drank quite a lot of water, I think 2 bottles in the 4-mile hike. But she did incredibly well. I mean, she's about 5 years old and still very happy. Why does the zoom work so well on the iPhone 17? Anyway, as we stopped periodically to shoot photos and keep making our way up, we eventually made it to the top. We did it, Tara! We made it to the peak! Alright, while Tara is getting some water, figured I'd stop here on Gold Camp Road. It's one of my very favorite places. Tara did very good on her first photography hike up in Colorado, and I can't wait to see the results of the images. So I will catch up with you probably back in Oklahoma City. Thanks for watching. And we're back. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at what we got on the XX. Alright, I'm already a lot happier with this roll. It's because of the sun. But the Cinestill looks really good. The grain is very even. It captures a little bit of middle ground, which is nice with such a heavy filter, and I think it turned out pretty well. Fundamentally, I am a color photographer. That's what I'm the most accustomed to. All the photographs that are behind me that are not paintings are photographs that I've taken, and noticeably none of them are in black and white. So what I really need to do more than anything else is learn how to see in black and white so that I can more effectively record it. All of this, I actually, excuse me. The purpose of my wanting to shoot black and white on this trip was that I ordered this very dark filter because I have a couple rolls. This is Silver Delta 100. Anyway, I have a couple rolls of the Raleigh infrared film. That was what I was initially wanting to use on this trip, but it actually kind of works out because it was cold and infrared film captures, well, sort of heat. But in order to adequately prepare myself to take the jump from black and white to infrared, I think it's important for me to try and burn through some rolls going from color to black and white. And that's really what this trip was about, and I actually really enjoyed the experience. I grew up, looking at a lot of the Ansel Adams photographs and the Brett Weston photographs and Edward Weston and all of that. And I mean, it's a whole different ball game. It's a different world, and it's something that I'd like to try to emulate a little bit, although not nearly as well because I'm not one of them. But yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I really like the Cinestill. I like the flexibility of it, and I'm definitely going to be shooting more of it in the future. But as we are approaching the end of the black and white section of this video, let's go ahead and talk about the Snappy LX2. Very cool little camera. It's all automatic and everything, and makes weird little noises. I really enjoyed using it, and here are some of the pictures from my Colorado trip that were taken with it, in the horrible ILFA color. Color. Anyway, here's Garden of the Gods. Yeah, this is back at the little waterfall, and yet another featuring the C3. I love the way that this looks. I said that Ilfo Keller looks like a 90s birthday party, and this camera is what would have been shot at that point, so these all look like just such tourist pictures, and I sort of love that. I don't know. I'm going to keep using it. It fits perfectly in my coat pocket and the back pocket of my jeans. Yeah, I mean, it's a nice little camera. It was $10, and I think worth every penny. So with that, I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.